TGIF and Happy New Year, everybody. Hi, David Hess, Bran, Simon, thank you very much. Alexander, Ingmar, all you face people ready to have a face experience, right? So.
TGIF Dale. Welcome.
Hey, how are you?
Of the year. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
You good?
Yeah, ready for the last couple of hours and then have some parties.
Uh-oh.
Wait a second. Wait a second. You got some parties. Is it New Year's Eve already?
It's never too early to start celebrating New Year's Eve, right?
How come I have a feeling that you guys have a bunch of wine drinkers over there?
Yeah. Oh yeah, got a few of my neighbors as well who like a bit of wine.
Nice.
All right.
Hey,
Good
morning,
hi,
Dale.
Blake. Good morning,
Hi.
guys. All right, so no follow through so far to yesterday's rally. Apple tried to close back over 130. This would change my mind. For the short term, I'd actually like to see it happen. It may not this week, but no follow through so far. This is my bellwether. VIX is up. Didn't buy the calls yet, so it'll probably explode. And dollar, looks heavy. You just can't get it out of its way. It still looks heavy to me. Is it gonna, head down to new lows in the new year? I think that's what the market may need. And we did finally have a little pullback in yields yesterday, but they're up again today. I can't make much out of anything that's going on right now. So you think that this could be a fade because it could be a failing rally, but I don't know how we're going to come in next year. I will say that I still think that silver is vulnerable. So just look at the silver chart here. And now look at First Majestic. So if I was long a lot of these silver, and here's, basket, here's the silver miners. Look at all the successive higher highs we've had. We've had 2 successive higher highs in silver, and the miners aren't leading. And, it's always better when they are instead of lagging. And I think they're saying that silver could pull back towards 22 maybe next week. So
or they could say that we're getting a good morning, by the way, we're getting a general move lower in risk. Could be both, actually. Could be both.
Okay, but it's not it's not saying that in silver yet. So I mean, that's the key thing, unless you're just saying, yeah, well, they're stocks, so they're more vulnerable because they're shares instead of the bullion.
Yeah.
Okay, so gold silver ratio, was this a turn? Let's look at the weekly. I wouldn't sell a chart like that. See what it's doing on the week. Yeah, trying to close higher on the week. This 73 level was pretty important. We almost got here. I just think silver's going to take a hit to 22, and that's no big hit. There's more confluence actually at the 21 level. That's where the 200 will come in. And the yen I was looking at, it looks terrible, right? But you know what? We are putting in a higher low here. So if they could hold it here and turn, maybe we have something like this from around here next week. And that'll be rates. When are we going to hear from the Fed next month?
Oh,
guys,
I'm not sure.
I think it's the 15th. Let me double check. It's either 15th or 18th.
Yeah,
I'll find out.
So yeah, so maybe
It's on the 25th, 25th.
25th, 26th.
I was that far off.
No.
Oh no, sorry, that was 2022. 26, 27. Sorry, no, that's 2021. Where is it? Damn it. Hold on.
I'm looking. It's not
31st of January, 1st February. There you go. It's end of January.
Really?
Wow. Yeah.
Wow. I was way off.
Yeah. So that's what I see going into the end of the year. I still think the best trade is going to be the short side, the dollar. But even if we go lower first, I still think there's going to be some type of retrace in the dollar from this big move that we've had. Doesn't have to be, but maybe we go down here and we get one good rally. It's going to be interesting to see what happens to the dollar in 2023 when we have risk on and we have risk off, to see if that correlation changes a bit. And that's it. I want to wish everyone a happy new year. And like goes, go ahead.
The key for the dollar is to know how those yields will behave at the start of the year, because we've seen the US 10-year, like as you were showing, like rallying, and a lot of it could be just year-end stuff, and I'm really interested to see when the players come back online next week, what they are going to do with those yields, and I think that's going to, since the yen has a bit decoupled from it after the Bank of Japan, and I think what we're seeing now is also getting probably out of further positions for year ends, because a lot happened in the Asian session and twice now in the Asian session and early Europe in the dollar yen, and then we kind of stalled a bit or corrected a bit, and I think the key will be what's happening to the 10-year yields next week. If the players come back online and they start to buy bonds, then the dollar may be in for a bit of trouble, in my opinion.
Because this pop in yields was over 50 bips, and you look at the yield chart, and dollar got nothing out of it.
No, because those rebalancings between equities and bonds and stuff, in the end of the year, it's, for us at least, looking at it from the outside, it's a bit of a lottery. If you're in the insider and you know what's going to happen, would have been somewhere an easier trade. But I did warn a bit before year-end galore started that there may be some stocks to be sold, and that seems to have materialized. Now, is there anything left to do today? No clue at all. No clue. No.
So I know, Blake, you talked to Tavi now on Trader Summit, and I talked to him yesterday. He's very bullish Brazil, and he likes these pairs.
Dude, he is very bullish commodities. Actually, he's the most commodity bullish person I think I've talked to in a while. So, which is interesting.
He likes the real. He likes the real against the yuan and against the yen.
Interesting. I didn't talk to him about a lot of currencies. I was talking to him mostly about commodities and inflation resurgence. He's one of the few people that is not in the deflationary camp for next year, which I found interesting. And smart completely guy. Definitely smart, but he thinks that inflation is going to have multiple surges next year. And so anyway, but I didn't get any views on him for
I didn't even ask him about it, but he said that when they came in, the Bank of Japan made that policy change. What was it, this day? When was it? Or this? It was this. So he's short. He was short JGBs going into it, and he's also short US dollar yen now too. So he likes the real against the one. He's looking for a weakening yuan and lower US dollar yen. So that's a stronger yen.
Yeah, anyway, like Kman and I were talking yesterday. I mean, that's my plan. I'm short dollar. I'm short Aussie yen, and I've been short dollar yen for the last few days, but I already closed out my dollar yen, but I'm keeping my Aussie yen near term. So I think the yen's going to be one of the better trades of 2023. I think
on the 50 week it's at right now.
Yeah, I mean, and I think there's a lot of room for the yen to accelerate higher. Just even despite the technicals, Dale, just keeping in mind that Kuroda's gone, and there will be some change in the BOJ and the structure of how they handle monetary policy. So I think it's only going to benefit the yen at this point. So
be great to see a shoulder develop here, Blake, if we had, like, if it holds here and we rally into early part of the year up towards 140. So this whole formation is what, 20 takes it down to 110.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it would definitely take us. I mean, we would retrace that entire move for the most part. Kman, what do you think about the yen here? I mean,
you guys seeing 110 in dollar yen?
I mean, that would be something.
That's a nose for Pinkert.
He's giving us like the next year and a half move. That's what he's talking about.
I think we'll be there by the end of January.
He's talking to pop back to 140, then a roll back over. He's talking over the course of the year.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts with the yen? I like I said, I'm a dollar yen bear. I'm a yen bull.
Yeah, I know. And I'm a yen, I don't know right now, because I fundamentally can't buy it. And that's that might be my issue for 2023. Because fundamentals are still not lining up for the yen. The only thing we are trading now is Bank of Japan changing tone, right? And interventions, of course, who by the way have kept the whole dollar sphere. When Bank of Japan started to intervene, the whole market cuffed. So that is something, a lesson that all traders should keep in mind, is that when yen moves, a lot of stuff moves, because there's a lot going around in yen, and Japanese investors are very powerful across the whole investment sphere. So that is something that a lesson for everybody who is trading and watching what the yen has done and has done to other stuff. That is something to keep really in mind when the yen is on the move. Now, for me, give me 120, and I'm probably gonna buy a lot of dollar yen.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that for a second. And, and Dale, do you mind if I take over here?
No, it's your Happy New Year gift.
Oh, great. Fantastic. And your Happy New Year gift, everybody listening in, should be the gift of ForexAnalytix. So,
that's your segue.
That is it. Thank you, Dale, for the tee up.
All right.
Or actually, the trader funding program. There we go. Now you can trade our money. Matter of fact, we had a guy, he's probably listening in right now. Taze, if you are. I've known him for probably about 15 years or so. He passed yesterday. So really, excited for him about that. So anyway, if he's listening in right at this very moment in time, he just passed his assessment. He's been listening to my, analysis for, like I said, about 15 years now, roughly, maybe even a little bit longer than that. But going back to the dollar yen, just to discuss this a little bit more, and Dale, you're like, seeing 110, and Kman, I kind of agree with you. If we get a move down into the 120s, I would be buying hand over fist down there as well. But let's talk about like the fundamental reasons to buy yen. Is there ever any fundamental reasons that you want to buy yen?
Yes, because of the internationalization of the major Japanese companies. They have made the internal economy in Japan is not good, but the external economy of Japan, their exports, the car makers, the heavy machinery makers, they are of big support. And if ever the market reopens, that could actually be good for the yen, because they are going to export more again, or produce outside of Japan more, and then they can repatriate a lot more funds. And if that goes paired with the Bank of Japan relaxing their policy, and that's if there's a lot of ifs, that should be fundamentally good for the yen. But for the time being, what we are seeing, the economic data are jumpy at best. They sometimes crawl or show the head above water, but most of the time it's undone in the next few months. The demographics are really not good in Japan at all. So the local economy is, and we still have to wait for what's going to happen to the wages, because they're asking for big increases, at least, well, big to Japanese standards, 5-6%, but really not sure if they're going to get it. So they need above 3-3.5% to just match inflation right now, and it's very rare that they actually get it. So fundamentals are, in my opinion, still not lining up. But as I was saying at the beginning of the show, we cannot underestimate Japanese investors. They are the real whales in the market. So if they decide to move their investments around and thinking that it's better to get back into the JGB market because hedging costs are too high elsewhere and they're getting return because of the Bank of Japan changing of tactics, then they may end up in the end. And I think in a way, if we look at mechanically the flows that happened over the past 3 weeks, they may be a sign of this, that they repatriated some of the money.
That's interesting that you point that out, and I will have to say that that everybody's been, I want to say the trade of 2022 has been the year of the carry trade, which if you go back to our analysis when we first met Kman, which was about a year and a half ago, maybe roughly, that you've been part of the ForexAnalytix team. But remember, like the end of last year, we were talking about the end of last year, the 2022, which was this year that we just went through, was going to be the year of the carry trade, and boy was it, right? It was the year of the carry trade, and then obviously everything reversed over the last couple of months. But I don't know if we've seen a lot of people, those positions have reversed, obviously, but I don't know if the mindset has reversed yet. So, everybody still wants to play the difference in interest rates via short yen, and they want to buy dips. But that mentality will shift if we have a shift in BOJ expectations in the months ahead, right? And that's I think going to be the beauty of this is I think there's going to be more, there's a lot of people that are buying this dip down here that they might continue to try to buy these dips, and you can sell into it now. And but the trick is not going to be sticking around too long, because you do pay some, I know I have been just over the last few days, some gnarly overnight interest, being like, I'm long yen versus Aussie. It doesn't feel good, over the course of a few days. So I think you have to be mindful of holding those positions too long.
Yeah, if you get the move that you're looking for in a couple of days' time, it's fine.
Right. But life doesn't always do that. That's why options traders get crushed all the time, right?
But I'm globally, the carry trades. I'm 2023 could be one. If we don't get a hard landing, and if data continue to show that we could squeeze through with a soft landing in the global economy, then I think in some way carry trades could still be juicy next year. But we'll have to wait for the data to start to show up,
right? Sorry, I was just gonna say Taze is here. Hey, Taze, good to see you, man. All right. And congratulations once again. The yen's going to be a really interesting trader next year. And what's going to be interesting next year, guys? And Stelios, you can we should open this conversation up to you. I know you're holding it all in right now and you can't stand it, but I just think next year there's going to be a massive amount of volatility as central banks are jockeying to we're figuring out which central bank's going to be moving where. And I think there's going to be a lot of, I like to use the term fits and starts. And I think there's going to be a lot of fits and starts next year. What I mean by that is you're going to see, you know, a recessionary period, probably, you know, the first, you know, couple of quarters. And I don't dispute that. And I think that that's going to be a key component going into next year. And you guys have to also remember as we go into next year, a recession doesn't necessarily mean, and it, you know, it doesn't matter what country you're looking at or what economy, the stock market is not necessarily representative of the economy at all times. And so that's one thing that it took a long time as a young trader, especially my first decade of trading, to really understand that concept. I'm like, wait a second, you know, God, the US economy is in shambles. Why is the stock market going up? It did take me a long time to really grasp the concept that, you know, it's more monetary policy than anything, you know, because you have to imagine, I started trading in the 90s. I started trading in the 90s, the Alan Greenspan era. And so I am a true product of central bank manipulation and you know, and so I you know, I was like, oh man, I'm short the market right now. And then I'd get it stuck up my rear end and have a hard time wondering why that, you know, stocks would continue to go higher as I'm, you know, shorting equities. But the one thing you have to understand is it's all about monetary policy. But we're going to see central banks that are going to be moving between being looser and tighter, depending on conditions and inflationary pressures, and especially employment. So data is really going to matter this next year, and volatility is going to be increasingly high, which makes it good for you and I, makes it good for you and I as a trader. And that's why, guys, if you haven't, you know, figured out that being inside of our community is like the best place to be, you know, for traders, you know, you should definitely make sure you're inside of the ForexAnalytix community one way or another. But Stelios, what do you have to say about next year as we go into 2023?
Well, I agree with you. I think what has the market been trying to do for the past few months? It's been trying to understand where the pivot is for the Fed, for the ECB, for all the major central banks, because we know it's coming at some point. The question is what drives the central banks to turn their rhetoric and get back to neutral first, and then maybe to accommodative policy. And I think without a doubt, inflation is the one driver. I know employment is another driver, and then, you know, the Fed has a dual mandate, but really inflation is the big elephant in the room, and it has been the big problem for the past year. I stand by my prediction or opinion that I think the inflation rate is going to start dropping quite quickly, because it's not that inflation is going to remain elevated. Prices are going to stay elevated, but the rate of change is going to slow. And I think it's going to slow down potentially to zero at some point. I mean, we got today Spanish CPI down from 6.8% to 5.8%, the whole percentage point down. So I think this is what we're going to start seeing more and more of going into, as I said before, the end of Q1. And as this becomes more obvious, I think the central banks are going to, you know, take the cue and say, you know, we did it. We've finally managed to tame inflation. The fact that the prices are a lot higher than they were, you know, a year ago, they are not going to talk about that. So they're going to celebrate and then go back to neutral. And if for whatever reason we start seeing negative prints, which will be healthy and will mean that prices are coming back down
Did you say
towards
negative rates.
Negative inflation rates. I mean.
Oh, okay, got it.
Which will be
you
healthy.
Think that's doable.
I think it is doable. I don't think it's, you know, it's doable for a short while, maybe, but I don't think we're going to go back to seeing prices where they were, you know, a year ago. But
man, you got to go listen to the Tavi Kostick interview.
Yes, he's bullish inflation, right?
Oh, he is an inflationista.
Well, you know, I'm driven by mathematics as well, and you know, mathematically, you need you know, you need for inflation to stay elevated when you're comparing to rate of changes from a year ago. It needs to really go ballistic. So you know, it could do. Of course, it could do. I could be wrong, but I think initially we're going to see a drop. and then I think we're going to see a rise again. So
That's exactly what Tavi thinks too.
Oh, is it?
That
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that, it could be a repeat of the 70s where central bankers thought we had inflation beat. It peaked for a while, and then like an uptrend, it started going again, and they had to act again. And I think it was 4 times that they stopped and started tightening during the 70s. 4 times.
Wow. Well, I don't
decade.
remember. I don't remember that.
Well, you were in
I was a
diapers.
baby.
Yes, you were in diapers, and
Yeah,
the only thing you wanted tighter was your diaper.
Yeah.
That's funny, Dale.
But anyway,
That's good. I gotta find Tavi's
Or
article.
looser.
Anyway, I'll find that interview and put it up there. Anyway,
Yeah.
that is funny. Hey, one of the things that Kman, you were talking about in our chat room just earlier, that there might be some dollar demand going into today. I want to point out that the dollar Swiss has reversed today. I'm going to be very light on my trading. I'm short Aussie yen, and I'm I'm short Aussie yen. I'm long Aussie Kiwi. I bought it down off of this dip down here, but I'm not going to do a whole lot with the dollar. But I have to point out, like, the euro just kind of made a little false breakout above the highs. Cable is actually nearing its trend lows, and we could hit that 38% retracement, which is not too far away. You got the Aussie dollar reversing from channel resistance, and the Kiwi not really doing anything. The Swissy just hit a false breakdown, almost hit the 161% extension in reverse.
The dollar.
Yeah, dollar CAD, limited downside. Dollar Norway, also, kind of false breakdown. And remember, it's out of its channel, so the risk is it starts moving higher now. Dollar Mexican peso did a false breakdown last night, and it reversed this morning. Again, if you're part of the ForexAnalytix community, you kind of knew about that about an hour and a half ago or so. You got this chart when it started breaking higher, that was, down over here. So it's already starting to grind higher. But you're seeing the dollar move. Even the dollar yen's showing a little bit of a reversal as we head into the 78% retracement. Also, there's a lot of previous support here. So maybe there is some dollar demand coming through, Kman. So why do you think that there might be?
No, it's just based on equity, bonds, and models that predict flows that should be done by net zero FX funds, and based on those kind of models, they were saying that we should, this afternoon, for the last fixing of the month, we should be seeing some dollar buying. But again, I mean, it has the way that those funds are trading the past few years has dramatically changed. They are not waiting for the last minute or last day as they used to do. So everything has to be taken with the necessary caution. But it is a fact that right from after the European fixings, we are seeing some dollar demand. But again, no investment advice. Don't shoot the messenger. It's all possible.
But also, when we have,
but if
we have
happens,
this,
we have the S&P. I told you.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Kman. Well, we're also seeing it. We're seeing the S&P roll over from resistance. I got the question in the chat room this morning about, hey, let's see. I think this is it. Oh no, that's Brand. Hi, Brand. Good morning. Somebody had asked me. That's Kman and I were discussing. Oh, here we go. Oh no, that wasn't it. Somebody was asking me earlier. Oh, here we go. This is one of our newer users. He said, "Hey Blake, do you still think we may see risk off moves today in New York?" And I said, I think while we're below the 3850 level, we will. If you want to be long, I think a squeeze above here would be bullish. That 3850 level, like you can't be bullish while we're in this diamond. And right now we're pulling back. You want to be bullish equities, and you're like, oh, I think we're going to get a squeeze. Be bullish here or be bullish above resistance. Not as we're sliding into this formation. So this type of sell-off that you're seeing here is, remember, there's end of year, end of month, end of quarter, all happening right now. And there's not a lot of players, as you know, Kman's been discussing, there just isn't. So everything that you see today is going to be flow dominated, and a little bit of flow can go a long way, and it can move the market quite aggressively. So don't get in trouble today. Don't get on the wrong side of the market and stay on the wrong side. If it's okay to be wrong, it's not okay to stay wrong. And that is a saying that you should be living by every single day, but especially today. Don't just sit there like a deer in the headlights. Get the hell out of the street. That's my best advice I can give you today. So Dale, did you have an interview today? I know it's Friday. Okay, no. You don't. All right. Well, I don't know if any, do we have any other team members here? Is Steve here today?
I am.
Hey, Steve. And what looks like we got Grega. Grega's here. Hey, Grega.
Hey, man. I'm here. I'm on the phone, but I just wanted to say to everyone all the best in 2023 for the last webinar. So I checked in through mobile today.
Well, it's great to have you here. And Steve, we're going to come right back to you. I just want to say, you know, Greg has been with us basically like literally weeks after Dale got here. Greg has been, you know, providing Elliott wave analysis to all of our ForexAnalytix clients forever. He's a really big part of the team. So thank you, Grega, for being here and always, you know, filling in for me, doing the week ahead videos and providing great analysis and updates for all of our clients. So thank you very much. Happy New Year to you. Steve.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, it's really, really great to have you on the team, Grega. Steve, I hope everybody's feeling a little bit better at your home, and I know you're dealing with a house full of sickies. I just want
my
to say,
son and my brother are. My wife and my mother are not.
Well, they're not feeling so good. Okay, well, I hope everybody like improves over there. But I want to say Happy New Year to you. What you guys don't see behind the scenes, the things that happen, you know, between our shows, our, you know, the tradersummit.net site, what you know, the back end of what's happening behind trader funding program, you know, ForexAnalytix, the developers, you know, he's the man behind the scenes, Steve is, and he comes out and provides you with some great macro analysis throughout the course of the year. So Steve, Happy New Year to you. Is there anything you wanted to say?
Same to you and everybody else.
Is there anything you wanted to say to the folks, you know, as we wrap up this year?
I want to wish everybody a great 2023. I am very optimistic that this is also going to prove to be a volatile year. So I think it's going to be overall a good trading year, as long as people exercise, you know, their ability to, you know, think clearly, not rush into doing things. I think opportunities will be plenty in the year ahead. So I think FOMO is going to be a really bad idea. You can't catch all the moves, but I think we can, you know, we can get plenty of them.
Yeah. Well, then, you know, that's the thing. I think you get with, I'm sorry, you get with experience. Is that you know, like there, it was a great example was, you know, this week I'm like, I knew I needed to short the dollar yen. I didn't short the dollar yen, and I can't be pissed that I didn't short the dollar yen. But you know, I knew I wanted to short it. I had my finger on the button, and you know, instead I was fiddle faddling with something else. But you know, having that maturity as a trader to understand that you're not going to catch every trade, and there's always going to be other ones out there. I think that's super important. And so, thanks, Steve, for being here. And Happy New Year to you and your family. I hope you guys all, you know, feel a little bit better. Mate. Thank you. Stelios, you know, he doesn't do anything actually.
I do nothing. I'm a waste of time.
He provides a good looks and you know, some silver commentary, and then
the shiny head.
and he's always happy. So we keep him around for a shiny happy object around the ForexAnalytix crew. No, but Stelios does a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and we couldn't operate without him. And I just want to say, Stelios, thank you for being here all throughout the course of the year. And is there anything you'd like to pass on to the traders going into next year?
Yeah, I'm going to echo roughly what Steve said. I think it's going to be a year full of opportunity and patience and discipline. Those two things, if you have those, and obviously having a community around you is super important, because I've many times I wanted to do things, then I discuss, with you, with Steve, with people in the chat room, and then I look at the other side of the argument, and sometimes it's it helps a lot. Usually it helps a lot in decision making, but I just want to wish everybody health first of all, because without health you can't trade, you can't do anything. Yeah. And Tony's saying, I'm really digging this. We should do this more often. Yeah. And Tony, just take care of yourself, and then everything else is a bonus, So just want to wish everybody a good happy year and a healthy new year.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Stelios. We appreciate you. And I didn't want to say last but not least, because I still got to make it a full circle to coach. But Kman, you've been a great addition to this team this year. Over this year, I sincerely really enjoy your analysis and your companionship, especially in the chat room. You're always out there posting your trades. You're telling us how it is. You're getting stopped out. You're like, oh man, I got stopped out. That's all right. I reverse. And look, you're a trader's trader, and I want to thank you for being part of our team. And I feel very fortunate that we have you here every day. So thank you. Is there anything you'd like to pass on to our traders as we go into next year?
Just tell everybody to join our community, because myself, having worked in dealing rooms for 35 plus years, some of them 1,000 people, rich or poor sometimes, it's very important to feel surrounded and not to sit on your own on your desk chair in your little office. No, it's really great to be part of a community. So and ours is I think the best.
Yeah, and I mean, you've been around for a while, so
yeah, and just wishing everybody an absolutely great end of year, and we'll kiss Happy New Year next week.
Sounds great. And last but not least, Dale, thank you for being here all year. We couldn't do this without you. You've been providing some great analysis, in the mornings, getting us all prepared, getting traders, everybody that listens in every day, prepared for the day ahead. So thank you for being here. And, we love having the coach here every single day with us. So Happy New Year. Anything you'd like to express to the traders at home this year?
Yes. You can't read a book about brain surgery over the weekend and then walk into the operating room on Monday to do a surgery.
You can't?
No. And people think they could do that with trading. Huh?
YouTube says so.
So I've been doing it all wrong. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, or you read the wrong book. Anyway, so it's important for people to know that, because they think they have a 50-50 chance. It's a coin flip, and a lot of people just experiment after reading a book. So it's going to take time, and I'm a big believer in communities and supporting each other, and 1 + 1 = 11 when you have great traders around you. It magnifies what you could do, and you start trading at a higher level. So I'm with Kman on the community aspect of what we offer.
Well, thank you, Dale. And you make the F.A.C.E, the ForexAnalytix community experience, an experience. So thank you very much. And I want to wish everybody a Happy New Year to you all. And let's look towards a great 2023. Personally, I had a wonderful trading 2022. We love volatility. Volatility, when you have Euro vol below 5, sucks. And that's we're basically double that right now, and that means there's so much opportunity in the FX market. I'm actually talking to a bunch of entrepreneurs next week in Southern California, not about ForexAnalytix, but about the Forex market, because a lot of them has been burned in crypto, and we're going to be talking about the opportunities that there are in the currency market because of shifting central banks. And I'm like I said, I'll be talking to a whole group of entrepreneurs in Southern California next week about that. So I think this is the place you want to be for the next several years as central banks are moving. So happy New Year to everybody. I appreciate each and every one of you. Yeah, I appreciate everybody listening in every day and being with us. And Dale, I'll pass it off to you as we wrap things up.
Okay, everyone. Want to thank everyone for hanging out with us. It's our hope we add value to what you're trying to accomplish. It's not easy. So much respect in hanging in there and living through adversity. And we plan on laying it all out on the court again in 2023. So happy New Year. Tell the people that you love that you love them. They're not mind readers, and have a great weekend. And get ready for our next campaign in 2023. Best team on the net. Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year,
Happy
Coach.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
That's a wrap. So don't just count your pips, count your blessings. And God willing, we'll all be here Tuesday to start the year off on the right foot. We'll start with a turnaround Tuesday. All right, everyone. Adios. Thank you, guys. See you, team. You're welcome, Shambhavi. You're welcome, everybody. Take care. Enjoy. Recharge.